Lumedx Echo Module, Documenting and Finalizing a Stress Echo Structured Report. Prior to watching this training video, you should have already completed the Apollo LX navigation video training, and you should understand the following. 1. Know the different icons in Apollo LX. 2. Know how to find your patient in different modules in Apollo LX. 3. Know how to navigate through a workflow to edit or add data. The objectives of this training video are the following. 1. How to review the sonographer findings. 2. Reviewing the exercise protocol. 3. Documenting the ECG findings. 4. Documenting the stress echo findings. 5. Documenting on the Overview tab. 6. Using the wall motion, prior studies, and QA tab. And 7. View and finalize the structured report. To begin, go to the Lumedx CVIS folder under My Apps, and then you will click on the icon labeled Lumedx. If you are on a workstation at the hospital, this Lumedx icon will be displayed on your desktop. When the login window appears, enter your network ID and password in the username and password fields. Once you are logged into Apollo LX, go to the Echo module under the Filters pane. Click on the To Be Read filter. This will show you all patients that have studies ready to be finalized. You can sort by the Interpreting MD by clicking on the column heading, or you can simply begin typing your name in the Interpreting MD box to filter your results. Once you find your patient, double-click on the row to open the record. Reviewing sonographer findings. When the workflow opens, click the Tech Findings tab. At the top of the screen, you will see any findings left by the technician. Review any communication or documentation left by the sonographer before documenting your findings. Reviewing the exercise protocol. Click the Exercise Protocol tab. The stress test information at the top of the screen is imported from the case stress machine. The exercise test information at the bottom of the screen is completed by the sonographer and is displayed for your review. Documenting the ECG findings. Click the ECG Findings tab. The ECG Findings tab is divided into 3 sections. Baseline documentation is at the top, while stress and recovery documentation is at the bottom. The top section allows for documentation of the baseline ECG. If the baseline ECG is normal, click the Normal Baseline ECG checkbox. Otherwise, use the drop-down to denote a baseline rhythm that is not normal. Any arrhythmia that is noted before stress, such as occasional or frequent PACs, can be selected from the drop-downs under the Arrhythmia heading. ST changes, whether documented for baseline, stress, or recovery, can be documented under the appropriate section. The values under the ST changes grid are grayed out until you click the plus sign at the bottom of the grid. The location drop-down for ST changes refers to the walls that are affected as determined by the ECG. If you scroll down, you will see your stress and recovery sections. Under the recovery ECG section, you can document if the ST changes return to normal and whether it is early or late. In addition, you can document how many minutes it takes to normalize. There are 3 sections for free texting any comments. Baseline comments are documented under the Baseline section. Stress and recovery comments are documented in the middle, and your overall stress summary comments are documented at the bottom. These comment sections will transfer to the stress echo interpretation on the physician report. Documenting the stress echo findings. Click the Stress Echo Findings tab. This is where you as a physician will be documenting your baseline, stress, and conclusion findings. Click the appropriate checkboxes and radio buttons to document your findings. The Echo Comments box is a place for you to free text any documentation, and this will transfer over to the Stress Echo interpretation on the physician report. On the bottom of this tab, you will find the echo findings measurements. These will come over from the ultrasound machine if they were taken. Documenting the Overview tab. If a full echo was performed and you would like to document those findings, you will do so on the Overview tab. The Overview tab is where you will document your findings for the study. The fields that are in red font denote that these are IAC data elements. These data elements should all be completed prior to finalizing your report. The first thing you want to ensure that you do is to make sure your name is in the Interpreting MD field. Click on the Interpreting MD button, enter your last name in the text box in order to find your name. Once you find your name, highlight the row and click the Apply button at the bottom of the window. This tab is organized by heart structure. Each section contains drop-down boxes and check boxes for your documentation. Most of your measurements will transfer from the ultrasound machine. However, estimated EF will require manual entry. Please enter a value in estimated EF. Blue hyperlinks. The blue hyperlinks exist to give a more detailed diagnosis under each heart structure. To open the additional window, click on the blue hyperlink. For example, if I want to document on the septal motion, I click the blue hyperlink to find the additional information. As you fill in data in the Overview tab, you can preview what will be transferred to your report by looking at the left-hand side of the report preview. I will enter some data to demonstrate. Take note that on the aortic valve, the structure drop-down is in red. However, to mark it normal, use the checkbox and not the drop-down. All other structures should use the drop-down value. If you see a yellow triangle with an exclamation point, this alerts you that there are abnormal values in the field. If you hover over the icon, you can see the normal reference ranges for this data element. Wall motion, prior studies, and QA. Wall motion scoring diagrams are available in the Echo workflow. These allow you to enter wall motion data in a graphical representation of the heart. Scoring results are numbered and color-coded and can be adjusted quickly using the mouse. There are two separate wall motions to document on a stress echo: resting versus stress. you can click the All Normal button in the upper left-hand corner of the wall motion scoring section of the screen to automatically set segment values on all diagrams to normal. Any previous values are overwritten. To set a value for all segments of a single wall motion diagram, right-click on the diagram you want to edit, but not on any of the diagram segments. A Set All menu displays a list of possible values for the diagram. Select a value. All segments in the diagram display the new value, and any existing values are overwritten. Also, corresponding segments in other diagrams are also updated. To change the value inside a segment, click a segment, increases the value of that segment by 1. Clicking on a segment with the value of X, meaning not visualized, will return that segment to the default value of missing. You can also right-click in a segment to open the Set Selected menu. This menu displays all possible values for that segment with the current value checked and displayed in bold. Click a value to change it. Below the wall motion diagram is a read-only display that keeps a running total of the number of fields that have been scored for rest and stress, as well as a total of all scores. These two numbers are used to generate a wall motion index for both rest and stress that is displayed on the right side of the section. If there are any prior echo studies for this patient, they will be listed in the Prior Study tab. The date of the study, the procedure type, the conclusions, and the findings are displayed for ease of review. To see more of the findings, click the Findings hyperlink to open a pop-up window displaying all of the results. If you would like to comment on the prior study, enter the comparison and the prior study date, as well as any comments in the comment box. The QA tab is for IAC review of studies. This will primarily be used by the medical director of the lab for IAC accreditation. Finalizing the physician report. You can preview the physician report by viewing the data as you are entering in your findings in the Report View window. As you enter your findings, the data will populate in the report. Always change any data on the data entry forms on your tabs and not in the report view. To move any statements to the conclusion sections, which will show up on the top of your report, you can simply right-click on any sentence and select Copy to Conclusions. As a tip, you can change the order of any items in the conclusion section by clicking the black arrow on the left side of the statement and moving it up or down. Once you are ready to finalize the report, click on the Reports toolbar icon at the top of the screen. Click on the report you would like to create. In this case, we will select the Stress Echo report. Once it is ready for you to view, you will see it at the top of your screen. Click the View icon. Once you have reviewed the report and agree with all the information, close the Microsoft Word document. Click the drop-down box under the column heading Status and select Final. You will be prompted for your user ID and password. Enter your network ID and password to finalize the report. As a tip, never edit any data in the Microsoft Word document. Data entered here is not saved to the database and will not appear in the final physician report. Once the report is finalized, you can no longer edit the report. You will need to create an amended report. Please watch the video, Lumedx, Amending Physician Reports.